Last year I covered one of the biggest names in the slideshow CC, Doodletones. So for this year I figured it would make sense to cover another big name in the slideshow CC, the Let's Player turned commentator Rion Rhino Mills. Let's get started. Rion Rhino Mills joined YouTube in 2012, but not as the commentator we know of today. He actually began his YouTube career as a Let's Player under the name of Rion Rhino Games. This made sense at the time because Let's Plays were incredibly popular, with the likes of PewDiePie and Markiplier achieving huge success and popularity. Like every other internet trend, when something becomes popular, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, and Rion was no different in this instance. I would love to show you some of his Let's Plays, but they have long since been deleted. After a year or so doing Let's Plays, it had become obvious that it just wasn't working out. It's safe to assume that Rion grew tired of doing Let's Plays and wanted to move on and do something else, which is why he decided to take his channel in a completely different direction. This is where commentaries come into play. Around the same time, the commentary community was in a state of uncertainty after the original incarnation came to an end the year prior, and was perceived by many to be dead. That all changed on September 18, 2013, when Rion uploaded his first commentary.
Hey guys, Rion Rhino Mills here, and this is my very first commentary. Anyways, this is my first commentary, and it will be on a YouTuber who supports something I find really annoying. Recolors. You know, those guys who get screenshots mainly from Sonic X and just recolor all over it. It, to me, is just annoying and plain lazy.
Let's Just Comment transformed Rion from a dime-a-dozen Let's Player to a well-respected commentator, and the hits would keep on coming. Rion's commentaries were a mixture between humor and criticism. At the time, commentaries were one of two things. They were super serious and analytical, or funny, sarcastic, and over the top. Rion combined the two styles into one, which was a very refreshing change of pace compared to most commentaries at the time. Another thing that won people over was his engaging personality and manic sense of energy. Rion was incredibly energetic and actually put some emotion into his voice, and if you've watched any of his commentaries, this becomes incredibly evident.
Bright ideas now, Oki?
I don't know. Use that conveniently placed vehicle outside.
Hey, boss!
You know what? I was just gonna suggest we give up and cry, but you know what? This is a way better idea. Let's go!
Wait, what are you doing?
It's nothing personal, QG. I just really don't like Castlevania money.
Get back here! Damn it! Only if I didn't sell my car for the 12-pack of Jack Daniels.
I went to college!
So, today I'm doing a commentary on a commentary to a review.
Oh, goody. Another commentator that has a voice changer for one reason or another and doesn't realize how distracting and somewhat annoying the high pitch is. I mean, seriously, in what realm do you think that it's a good idea to sacrifice your quality for whatever reason you can cook up for raising the pitch so high? I mean, really, the only reason I can mix up as for why one would want to do this is if it was done ironically or for a character, and even then, the latter's kind of pushing it.
This is the first time I've done this, and I don't know, something tells me it won't be my last.
Oh, so there's a chance this won't be my only video on you!
Within the span of a few short years, Rion became one of the most well-respected commentators in the community, and was hugely instrumental in opening up the floodgates to a whole new generation of commentators. In addition to his work on Let's Just Comment, he co-founded the commentary group Bunch of Pseudo-Intellectuals, where he was one of the group's most active members. He's also collaborated with Doodletones, The Masked Starmaker, Gem99, Galeforce3192, and Master TP10, among many others. Everything was going pretty well for him, as he continued to pump out a steady stream of high quality and well-produced commentaries. And then at the beginning of 2017, something weird happened. He chose to walk away. Rion's downfall began with the infamous co-op commentary he did with Galeforce3192 on Nightmare Kogamine. Many people had problems with the 8-minute long intro that preceded it. In fact, the backlash became so massive that he wrote a twit-longer post stating he would be placing annotations to skip the intro. This had come after initially mocking those who had complaints with the long intro. In January 2017, Rion made a surprise announcement, and it was a whopper.
Yeah, you've already read the title. I'm not gonna go into this, this whole sad speech like I did in my break video I made a while back. I'm just gonna tell you completely, 100% how it is, okay? So, yeah, no, you read the title. I am no longer doing commentaries. And I know that's a pretty big statement coming from me. I know for a fact that's a pretty big statement. But let me explain, okay? Because I've actually been thinking about this for about a year now. So I recently had a conversation with someone, and I'm not going to name names of this person, but it really got me thinking, and I'm going to be honest, I feel that I got too big of a name in too quick of a time. I got too big of an influence in too short of a time period in a community like this. Like in a community where you're making like top 10s or reviews, it's not as bad, especially with 2,000. That doesn't mean anything in most of those communities. But in a community like the commentary community where we are very argue-based, very debate-heavy, then it kind of becomes a problem when whatever you say something, it kind of becomes a bit too gospel, a bit too much of a rule, even though I'm totally against the idea of rules.
A month later, he announced that he would be returning to commentaries and stayed true to that by releasing several new episodes of Let's Just Comment in 2017. By this point, public opinion on Rion had soured, and nowhere is that more evident than this video.
Oh!
Did you win already?
Yeah, but not in the way I wanted to!
What'd he say?
Daily reminder, black people are not oppressed.
Oh!
Maybe Super Funny Bros was a mistake.
Rion, alongside Doodletones and a few others, chastised Smartass Burb, formerly known as Super Funny Bros, for a tweet saying black people are not oppressed. This incident did not make Rion look good in the slightest, and gave everybody the impression that he turned into an SJW. Shortly after this, he put his Twitter account on protected mode for undisclosed reasons, although I've been told from somebody close to him that he locked his Twitter because he wanted to get away from all the drama that was surrounding the CC. There's also the issue regarding the lack of content, and there's a reason for it. According to Green Star Productions, formerly known as the Illogical Reaper, it's alleged that Rion will only make commentaries unless he can put in jokes. I'm not sure if this is actually true, but if it is, then it would explain the huge gap between commentaries. Rion has also been alleged to have backstabbed and disparaged manga comment Guy34, and for no good reason, according to people close to the situation. Again, I don't know if this is true or not, but if it is, that would be very disappointed considering his content is fantastic, and the perception he likes to portray to everybody is that of a stand-up dude. Overall, who knows what the future holds for Rion? It's been months since his last commentary, and as we all know, the YouTube algorithm is not kind to channels who don't upload frequently. His reputation has also taken a hit, not only because of the stupid things he's done in the last year, but also because of the increasingly toxic reputation of the slideshow CC. As good as his content is, the lack of that said content has rendered him almost irrelevant in an age where Doodletones and manga comment are thriving. I do think he can make a comeback because he's legitimately talented and has a great eye for criticism and comedy, but are his videos good enough to excuse some of the shitty things he's done recently? You be the judge. I believe that Rion is a primary example of what can happen when you let YouTube fame go to your head. Like he said himself, he got way too popular, way too quickly, and gained this massive following of people that held everything he said in high regard and didn't question it. And this is what happens when certain people become popular on YouTube. They start getting a little more cocky, a little more arrogant, and they start to truly believe they're better than everybody else. They essentially buy into their own hype, and this is what leads to their downfall, and that's exactly what happened to Rion. And that's a shame because his videos are really good. He's a legitimately talented dude. His videos are well produced, they're of high quality, and there's a lot of effort put behind them. But at the same time, it really doesn't excuse a lot of the shady things that he's done recently. Now, I personally don't think he's an SJW, although at times he does exhibit SJW tendencies, and honestly, if you think he's an SJW, I will not argue with that. I can understand why you would say that, because he doesn't exactly do a good job of convincing people that he isn't. I honestly wish that Rion makes a comeback and does make more commentaries because they are legitimately good. But at this point, with everything that he's done and everything that he's alleged to have done, and all of the drama regarding the CC and all the shitstorm that is going on right now, it is very unlikely, especially considering the public perception of Rion has shifted so dramatically recently. And it's a shame because, like I said before, his commentaries are really good. But considering he doesn't upload them very often and there's this huge gap, and he's alleged to not make commentaries unless he can come up with good jokes, which in of itself is a problem when you're focusing more on comedy than the thing that you're supposed to be doing, which is making points. I don't know how likely it is that he will make another commentary. I hope he does, because I would love to see it, and I know you guys would love to see it. But the future of Rion's channel is very uncertain, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he up and leaves the CC, if he hasn't done so already, because it is far too toxic to one's reputation, and there's just this era of stink around it to the point that no one wants to associate with it anymore. But what do you guys think about this? Do you like Rion Rhino Mills? Do you not like him? Do you think he's meh? And also, do you think Rion will make another commentary again? Do you think he'll make a comeback? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, with all that being said, this is ThatKidDouglas, aka the Unhero, signing out. Deuces, stay frosty and keep it where queuing outro sequence now.